Okay everyone, today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm making homemade, or what I call my DIY journals, and we're going to use our cinch machine here. It has a little lock on the side that we're going to take off so it lifts up. The yellow pieces here, you can move those in and out to create a pattern. If you, once you make your initial cut, say you need only the first 4, then you would pull out the 5th one so that way you wouldn't get an inappropriate punch. And then I'm just showing you this piece slides out so that way you get your initial stamp and then you slide it out to finish, you know, depending on the length of the piece of paper or whatever it is you're cutting out. So, you know, I like to show you guys and share with you things that I do wrong. Here's an example. So I did my first row of punches. I pull out my lever, and here, I don't know why, when I put it in and the way it was lining up, I was thinking I should leave the first 2 and take out the 3rd one. Well, when I punched it, it put a little bit of the punch right on the edge, and that's not what I was trying to do. Obviously I wanted it to have kind of even from the top and the bottom. So to show you what it should look like, I'm going to punch it again, move it down, pull out the number 2 slot, and then punch again. And you'll see on this, now it's even on each end. So once you do that with all the chipboard pieces and all of your center sheets, then we're going to attach it to the actual ring. Okay, now in the center of the journals that I'm using today, I'm just using like white cardstock. I got it from, I think it was Staples or someplace like that, a ream of paper that's 110-pound weight. It's not as heavy as like the Nina Solar White. You know, that 110 is not as thick as that, but it's thicker than your normal printer paper. Okay, you can fill it with anything. If you know someone likes to do watercolors, you can buy watercolor paper and cut it down to fit into a journal. You can do pastel paper, whatever it is that you think that people are going to enjoy. And this particular journal, I left it with the white paper so that someone could write in it, you know, if they wanted to do like a faith journal or just, you know, write in everyday stuff. Now on the back of the cinch, the part that I'm pointing out right there is how you measure for your cinching of the actual ring. Okay, and the size that these are, I have it set on 5/8, and the ring itself, its size was 0.625 inches. So it was like right in between half and, you know, 3/4. So I put it at the 5/8. And then once you cinch it, there's that little tray in the back. You just empty it. That's all the little bits or the confetti. I don't save it. I just throw it away. And then I wind up making these 2. And once I have it put together, then I measure from the cut line to the edge to figure out how big I'm going to make my pieces of paper. And on this particular size, which is 7 by 5 1/4, I made my decorative paper 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to give it a nice edge. And I'm just sharing with you here a journal that I created earlier for myself that I'm using for like my scriptures, and I like to color in it. I have watercolor paper in that one, so I'll probably do some more just playing with mediums and stuff like that. So with this one, or these 2 that I'm doing, they're actually gifts because I have 2 friends whose birthday are this month, and we're gonna get together. So I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and make them their own personal journals, and it'll be a great gift from me and my mom to them. I don't know, I'm very much into journaling. I don't do it every day, but I do like to try, you know, writing different things at all different times. So whether it be scripture related, or, you know, if I'm thinking about what cards or what projects to do next for here. So I decided to pull out 2 sheets from my latest Blue Fern cardstock, and I have it in a haul video, which I still have to put together to put up on here for you guys to see. But I'm just pulling out 2 sheets, one that I like for the outside and one for the inside. I was thinking this one for the outside initially, but I wind up changing it to the inside. And then I picked my other Blue Fern paper I have, which is the Attic Charm, I believe it's called, and I just pulled 2 sheets out for that. The one with the dress form is going to be for the outside, and then I found one that's more like a, it almost looks like postage and writing. It's very vintagey, so it works for the inside. So I'm going to cut these down. I already gave you the measurements. I'll give it to you one more time. So it's 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, okay? And you're going to cut down 2 for the outside and 2 for the inside of your flaps. Once I had those cuts, I decided that I really wanted to ink the edges on this. A lot of this paper, or this particular paper, is so thick, when you cut it, you can definitely see the white cardstock. And I wanted to create depth to the paper. And the first one I grabbed was tea dye, and it was too close. It didn't have enough pop. So I went to the, the oldie but goodie vintage photo instead. So it's a little bit of a darker brown, and to me it really pops after you go around the edge here. And I'm going to do that to all of our pages for both journals. And on these particular ones, I'm not going to do a whole lot of extra decorating on them, only because the idea is I want you, the people who are receiving it to be able to use it. And sometimes, I don't know about other people, but I like to write on the back side of the page. So if you make it too bulky, it doesn't want to lay right, or you run the risk of like the pieces to come off. So you'll see what the plan is with the fronts of them as I get towards the end, but I try to make it as minimum as possible. So I'm just taking the ATG gun, and I'm just taping around and putting a few lines in the center. But I also like to use Scotch quick glue, and what I do is put it in between. So what happens is, with the wet glue being mixed in, sometimes if I don't lay it right, it gives me enough time where I can pick it back up without it being completely stuck down. And all you do is attach. And by cutting it at the 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, it allows us, when we lay it down, to have a nice border around the edge. And on the front of the covers, for the one, I'm going to use a black lace that I have that has the adhesive already on the back. And then I have a pink one. It's not lace. It almost looks like is it called brocade? It's hard to explain, but like if you ever seen okay, I'm going to really say something about myself right now. But when I was in marching band, on the uniforms that the actual musicians had, they had the cord. That cord that would hang, sometimes it was like right around the shoulder, and it reminds me of this particular braid. Alright, and we're just putting on the last page of the second one. We're going to once again just go around the edges with the tape. And if you have the, on the roll score tape, you can use that. Whatever makes you happy. If you want to just use wet glue, you can do that. It's just a matter of, when you're giving something away as a gift, you want to make sure that what you put it down with, it's going to stay. Because you do not want to go over and visit with someone and see that their entire project that you made is falling apart. That's really just does not make you feel good. Alright, so there's the journal. That's the inside. And like I said, I thought I had already done this one. Oh, it's okay. I'll show you. We're going to just repeat the same process, going around all the 4 edges, making sure everything is covered as far as the inked edge, and then we're going to attach it just like how we did with our first one. I was thinking about something. What was I saying? Oh, about the making sure you use good, you know, adhesive. It's very important, you know, especially when, like I said, you're giving something away. You want to make sure, you know, if you use glue dots, maybe use hot glue instead, or use glossy accents, something that you know is going to be a really strong adhesive that'll help it to stay. So once we're done going around, once again, like I said, we're going to go ahead and attach these pages to our journal. I don't know what it is. I always have to start with the very first, the front page, make sure I get that one on, and then it's kind of like everything else flows for me. So, and I'm just adding the glue and then trying to evenly lay this down, making sure to press it well, making sure that the glue, you know, spreads. And oh, with the paper on the inside, like this one is the plain solid cardstock. You know, you can use lined paper or get specialty paper. It's really up to you. Whatever it is your intention is for the journal, that's what you put on the inside. Okay, you could add pockets on the inside of the flaps if you wanted to, if you're wanting to, you know, have it hold memorabilia or anything like that. It really is very versatile. So once again, thank you guys for joining me. As you look through these pictures, you'll see that I added a butterfly, their initials on the front, and then a saying like love on that one that just passed by. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and please share, and I will see you all with our next video.